Morning. Rained last night, pretty much all night. Let's go see how the water drained off the ground over here. Then I'll show you what I did yesterday, because all that footage mysteriously disappeared in the La La Land. I'm not seeing any water. Well, I see a little right here. There's a little spot right there. Little spot right there's a rock ledge right here. It goes all the way across. All that solid rock. So just a little bit. So it's doing pretty good. Fix that up. Told him I'd wait a year and see what happens. See how bad it gets after the snow melt. Alright, let's run down to the basement. See if we get any water in the basement, which we shouldn't. We try to finish moving. Gonna try to finish moving everything out of the barn today. Get it down in the basement, and I'll take you down here right now. Show you what I did. Check it out. Apples coming out on the apple tree already. So let's go down here. See if we got any leaks around this door or anything. I don't see any water. Ooh, I see a lot of water. Where did this come from? Man, that's a lot. Hole's not filled up. Looks like it came from right here. It did, and the insulation's wet. Crap. At least I can get to that insulation. Let's go see where this came from. This kind of sucks. See what happened here. I don't know how that water got in there. Little hole there. I can't believe that did that. This was folded up like that, but there's just no way. Huh. Well, I'm going to have to pull that insulation out. What it might have done, it might have got on here and rolled in. Go back in there and see. All right. So water came in the basement. Man, and it came in right here on the corner, and all that insulation's wet. And it came in right here also, or maybe it just ran down the board. Well, that's dry there. That's wet. Oh yeah, that's soaking wet. So I gotta pull all that insulation out. Maybe I'll be able just to push it up and stick something under it and put a fan up there and let it dry. I don't know, how far is it wet? That's dry. That's dry. So I think it's just this and this little section. Yep, that's dry. So it's just a little bit right there and right there. I can deal with that. But what happened was, I took this plastic off, this tarp off the decking yesterday, so I could let this air come out of here, because there's no, we got that 7-inch piece to put in there. So I took it off and I put it back on, but I just stapled up here. I think the wind blew this up and blew the rain under it, or went through these holes. You can see these holes right here. Also, I think it collected on this and rolled underneath it. So today, I'm gonna cut these down, which I should have done before I put the tarp up. I don't know why I didn't. And I'm gonna finish this piece. That's gonna be today, if it don't rain. So I wanna get up here, I wanna get a broom, sweep this off. I wanna get the wet vac in the basement and get most of that water up. And I just gotta figure out how to keep it from doing it again. Because I just can't put another piece over this because water will just go underneath it. Might have to go pick up another one of these. Good thing about these things, they're relatively cheap. What we should have done, but I didn't think about this until afterwards. Let's go back in the basement and I'll show you. So up in here, this is where the stairs are going. Just from here over to here, there's insulation inside that. And then along both ends, there's insulation because I wouldn't be able to put it in there after the decking was up. So we put it up first. What we should have done is went and got some clear visqueen and put it over this, just this section right here before we put the decking down. Ah, man. I don't know. Let's go look at this side. This is, man, yesterday and today. I probably shouldn't do anything. Yeah, this side's looking good. I probably shouldn't just do anything today. I mean, yesterday, I'll get out of this basement and we'll come back in here. Yesterday, I lost all the footage last night of yesterday's footage. I don't know. We had a storm come through, and it wasn't a bad storm, just a lightning storm. Lightning 4 or 5 times. But the power, like I said, the power flickered 4 or 5 times, and then it went out. And when it came back, the SD card was formatted. I don't know how in the heck that happened. And then it wasn't on my program because it closed itself out. I don't get that. I don't know. But anyways, I moved a whole bunch of junk from in the barn in here. This is what I did yesterday. First one, it's got water in it. And I spread it out so I can walk in between these things. And I still got more up there. That's what I was going to do today. But I want to vacuum up some of this water with the wet vac. Get that stuff up off the ground because this cloth, I think those will be all right. So, oh man, I'll tell you one thing I am going to do today is you can see how much we didn't put up there because we ran out of plywood. And we went and bought a sheet. I got it right there. So I'm thinking I'm going to sweep the water off the tarp, rip the stuff off the tarp off of the barn, off the flooring. I'll keep it. And then I'll go buy another one. They're relatively cheap. Believe it or not, that's a 30 by 40 tarp. And it was like, I think I paid $60 for it at this surplus store, and they got hundreds of them. So yeah, I think that's today's plan, is get this thing. Got to cut those off. It was miserably hot those days, so we didn't do it. I just figured I'd do it when I do the end piece over there. So I want to make sure it's not going to rain anymore today. And if it's not, I'll just come up here and cut this thing. I'll just cut it about 4 inches in, all the way around. And I can save this piece, because it's not stapled. It's only stapled on the sides. Then I'll rip all this down, get that rim board or that, finish that decking, cut that decking, then I'll put the new one down and I'll staple it on the sides this time. Because this, I stapled it on the top also, but I'll just staple it on the sides. And that should keep it dry. All right, let me go down here and get this thing cleaned up. And if worst comes to worse, tell you what I can do. Worst comes to worse, I have to pull a lot of this insulation out. I am having the house is going to be spray foamed, that expanding spray foam the company uses. And I'm going to have him, you know, fill in every one of these also, all the way around. Worst comes worse, I'll just pull this piece out. Actually, I might just pull all that out and have him fill that if he can. I'll talk to him when I get him out here to give me a quote. I got most of it up. I'm happy with that. I got the fan running. And there's some spots already drying up. Man, that just sucked. That sucks. I gotta figure out what I gotta do with that. I guess another tarp. Maybe what I'll do is I'll get up there and I'll broom off the top of this. And hopefully it'll dry. Then I'll just cut those pieces over there in the corner. Finish this up here. Put that little strip up all the way across. Get it glued, nailed down. Now just throw another tarp right over that one as soon as that one gets dry. And I'll staple this one to the sides. Oh man, I did not want to have this happen. What a crappy 2 days. Lost all of yesterday's footage. And then this happened. Well, at least it's good to know before I got too much further in the build. But it's just, it's my screw up. Like always, I told you, if I can screw something up, I'm gonna screw it up. But I think a majority of the water came in from sitting on top of this and running underneath it. Yep, it's wet under there. Run underneath it, so I'm gonna cut these two off today. And then I think this just, the wind probably just blew it up and blew wind on it. But I'm gonna get it down so it's at least past the sill plate. So we get a broom, get this swept off. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. Hopefully it'll dry out. It's just humid out right now. And then I'll get another tarp. I'll cut these pieces where they're supposed to be cut. We got two of them there we got to trim off. And then I'm going to put that piece in. Now I'm going to put a new tarp on it, and I'm only going to staple it on the sides. I'm not going to staple it on top like I did here. You can see where I stapled it on top. It's probably a mistake. But I'll staple it on the sides this time, and I'll let it hang way down past the sill plate. All right, I'm gonna put this broom away. Let's go see how the basement's doing. I got the water out of there. I got the fan on. All part of living in the wilderness. Okay. What do we got here? Put this thing up. Oh yeah, it's starting to dry out. Look at that, nice. Okay. Well, this is not how I wanted to spend today. I wanted to finish cleaning out the barn. That's not going to happen. So I'm running into town. Going to pick up another one of those tarps. Sun's coming out, so that'll dry it off. And some strapping so I can screw it to the sill plates instead of staples. And I'll leave it a little loose this time. I left it loose last time, but the heat shrunk it. So I'll leave it a little bit looser. And that way I won't have any holes with the staples, because that was part of the problem, is I stapled it on top and on the sides, and when it shrunk it ripped little holes in it, and that's where some of the water came in. So doing it different this time. I didn't want to have to spend today like this, but it is what it is. And I'll see you when I get back, because I'm going to finish that decking today. If the sun stays out, I'm going to finish the decking and get it covered up the way it should have been the first time. My dad even mentioned that. He goes, we should put boards on there. But we just didn't have anything but 2x10s and 2x8s. And I was like, no, I'll staple it, it'll be fine. It was fine until it shrunk. All right, we'll talk with you later. Sun came out and I picked up some strapping, so I don't have to use these silly staples. Let's go down in this basement, see how dry it is. Probably not as dry as I'm hoping it's going to be. Oh yeah, it's drying up pretty good. I think it's still dripping down from up there. I see a few wet spots. But other than that, it's getting pretty dry. Pretty cool down here also. So I think I'm just going to cut the plywood out there. I want to get rid of that mess. Just wondering if I should pull the whole tarp off. It's not going to rain, so maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just pull this tarp off, fold it up, and I'll put the new one down. That might help air it out a little bit down there. Let me do that. Let me pull this tarp off and we'll go from there. It's kind of windy, so it should be fun. Man, I stapled the crap out of it. Get off me. Probably a good thing I did that because the wood's wet. Yep, that's going to be a good idea to let that dry out. I think what I'm going to do, this might sound crazy, but I think right here, yes, right here is the center. I think I'm going to put some pallets on edge, stand them up, screw them down probably every 4 feet. I can drape my tarp over it and secure it to the sides, and then I'll let it ventilate a little bit more, because it is blazing hot and humid in that basement. So might look ridiculous, but if I didn't have insulation down there, I wouldn't worry about it. I just let it get wet. But there's a lot of stuff in the basement I gotta keep dry. Get one in here. Just stick one right here. Should hit the beam. Yep, that'll. Got those up. Might look ridiculous, but I got to keep the water out of the basement. So I'll just lay it over these, pitch it down this way, pitch it down that way, and I'll button this end up, but that end I'll leave open. Actually, I'll leave both ends open, but I'll rig it up with a bungee cord where I can close it at night in case it starts raining or during the day. Okay, so what do I want to do now? Oh, I got to put this stuff on. I got to finish this. So I need to get some measurements along here. Should be all the same. I'll double check that. We'll get cutting some of that wood. See if we can do this. Oh, I need a battery. I ain't gonna work without that. That's all beat up right there. I ain't never gonna get it in there. What happened to that? I just wanna make sure it's the right length. Where's it stopping at? Okay, I gotta start from that side. So let's go down here and see what we got. Yep, good enough. Close enough. A little short there, why is that? That's right, I got a 6-inch wall sitting on here. It'll just overhang this a little bit. Okay, and that one's not lining up right. What the heck's going on here? How did we do this? Here's my 4-foot mark, right here. So another 4 foot down here. So let me do this. That's more like it. Yep. Okay, that's gonna be the only one that is like that. All the rest. Man, it's bright out there. 9 inches. Yeah. No. 9 inches. Now, probably should cut from the other side. Beautimous. Another one. Stand this up right here. 9 inches. These I'm going to screw down just because I don't feel like going and getting a nail gun out and all of that. Just get a little glue. Yes, in here. Perfect. Yep, like it. I'm all done for the day. Man, would you all look at this ridiculous looking thing? That's crazy. But it keeps the tarp off of the decking. I'm hoping that'll help with airing out the basement. Let's see if we can look under here. But I got it sitting up on pallets, hoping all the water runs off it. It's not too hot under here, so that might help with the humidity problem I had in the basement. But man, oh, that's what you get for living out in the wilderness. You got to do what you got to do. This is not going to be permanent. This, in fact, I might even take this down tomorrow. And I'll tell you why. I got everything stored in the basement. Not everything, but I'm going to have everything stored in the basement. And there's the two end walls have insulation in them. And the section by the stairs. It's tongue and groove. Now the decking is made to get wet. They say it can be wet for a year before anything starts happening to it. I don't know if I believe that or not. I've seen videos of other people who have used it and left it out all winter, had ice all over it, and it melted, and it was perfectly fine. It is some hard wood, I'll tell you that. But it's tongue and groove. So if I don't put anything on it, if it rains, the water's going to go right through the tongue and groove and get right back in the basement. That's what I'm trying to avoid, is I need to keep the water out of the basement. And I think one of the problems I had with the humidity down there and the heat was because that thing was so tight, it shrunk on top of the decking, got so tight, there was no air barrier, or vapor, well, I don't say vapor barrier. There was no airspace between that and the sheeting. So this is what I'm going with for now. And whenever I build the walls, it has to stay. Because I can't pull it all off, start building walls and have it rain, and then I get water in the basement and everything I have down there get wet. So I think I'm gonna do, this is what I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go get some of like the 9mm clear Visqueen, the thickest stuff they make. I'll put it on there, but I'll just lay some pallets up there. And I'll leave the ends open so the air can ventilate a little bit. Because this thing, this is just ridiculous looking. Somebody's going to drive by and go, that fool put a roof on that basement and he's going to live in his basement. But I don't care what other people think. So I don't know. I think I'm going to go get some clear Visqueen, throw a whole bunch of pallets up there, staple it along the edges on the rim boards instead of stapling it on top like I did the last one. That's how the water got in there. And do that. I'd like to do that tomorrow. Problem is, all the hardware stores here in town, or the next town over, are closed tomorrow. It might be time to go to Lowe's, which is not a bad thing, because I have to pick up a piece for my water. I say my water pump, my well system. Have to pick up a piece for that, and a friend of mine is looking for a specific camper, and I seen one for sale on the way to Prescott Isle, so I'll stop by and get the phone number off that, and then we'll go from there. Man, that just looks stupid. It looks But at least I got ventilation now. Ooh, it came off on this side. All right, so I need to fix that. Got that fixed. Got it screwed down. What a ridiculous looking thing. Oh my God. What I should have done is I should have kept everything in a dang barn. Then I wouldn't have cared what happened. But I don't know. Hopefully the trusses will be here in another 3 weeks. I think Monday. No, Monday's 4th of July. I think Tuesday I'll go into the lumber supply company and see if he can give me a definite date on these trusses in my decking package. And I will, once I get that definite date, about 2 weeks before that, I'll start building. Because all I have on here is 4 2x6 exterior walls and 1, 2, 3 2x4 interior walls. I can have that thing framed in 4 or 5 days. Easy. Might not have the decking or the sheeting on the sides, but we'll see. I think within 2 weeks I could have that thing completely done. Windows in and Tyvek up. So that's going to be it for today. I'm going to go in and grab some dinner because I'm hungry. And thanks for following along. See you right back here tomorrow. See you, bye.